Welcome, folks. I am Jaby Koay, and we're going to look at a pitch meeting today. This is Uncharted pitch meeting from Screen Rant. Thank you, Screen Rant, for allowing us to react to this. Very, very much appreciate it. Y'all, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, please. Bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. So, I have already put out my review for Uncharted. It was a non-spoiler for those of you who haven't seen it yet. I was unhappy. I'm a big Uncharted fan, and I tried my best to divorce myself from my feelings about the game when watching the movie, and I failed. I tried really, really hard to see it as two separate things, and I just couldn't. I was just frustrated the whole time. There were some things about it that had redeemable qualities, but a lot of it was me going, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Since then, I have been very anxious to see Ryan George's pitch meeting on Uncharted. I really, really, really want to know what he has to say about this, and so we're gonna find out together. Here we go.
So, you have a video game movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. And I'm so excited for this one, Uncharted. Oh. You should probably get yourself cleaned up. What? What? The video game series, Uncharted.
What?
We should make a movie about it, I think. Oh, yeah, that made money. Yeah, so now we can too, maybe. That's like my whole thing. How'd you know? I just thought you'd be into that. I frickin' am. Let's do this. Amazing. So who'd be a good fit to play Nathan Drake, the main character? Well, right off the bat, you're not asking the right question, my man. I'm not. No, see, the better question is, who's a popular actor right now? I felt like my question was good, too. No, it wasn't. That was a stupid question. Tom Holland, he's popular. He's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's popular. That's not really a good fit. He plays like a high school age kid in those movies. Nathan Drake's like in his 30s. So he's a younger Nathan Drake. Doesn't matter. Tom Holland's popular. Okay, and so who would be a good fit to play Sully? You're not asking the right question. I figured I probably wasn't. The right question to ask is, who's an action movie veteran with a good track record? Right. So, I mean, I'm thinking Mark Wahlberg. Okay, I mean, I guess it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the role of Sully. Oh, I can tell you right now what Mark Wahlberg's gonna bring to the role. Mark Wahlberg's gonna bring Mark Wahlberg to the role. Like a Mark Wahlberg twist to the character? No, Sully's gonna be Mark Wahlberg now. Are we gonna give him the iconic Sully mustache? No, actually, known characters can't have their iconic costume elements in movies anymore. They need to either pick them up along the way or just have them in a post-credit scene. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's a law now, I'm pretty sure. Well, okay then. So what happens in the movie? Well, I figure we do that thing where we start with an insane action scene that actually happens later in the movie, just to start with something exciting. Classic move, sure. And then we'll have a freeze frame and a Nathan Drake voiceover that's like, yep, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got here. It might be a little much, but let's definitely keep that spirit. Will do, sir. And then I have us cutting back to like a 10-year-old Nathan Drake. Sure, what's wrong with that?
I bet you're wondering how I got here. That does feel very, very, very absurdly cliche, I gotta say.
Sir. And then I have us cutting back to like a 10-year-old Nathan Drake. Sure, what's wrong with that? Well, Tom Holland looks like he's 15, so that might make for kind of a weird transition. That'll be fine. Okay, great. So anyway, Nathan's brother Sam leaves Nathan at an orphanage when they're kids and promises to come back, but then never does. Oh, very character defining. So then we jump forward to present day, and Nathan's all grown up, you know, to the extent that Tom Holland looks like a grown-up. Spider-Man. And now he has a job working as Tom Cruise in the movie
It really does feel like that's the thought process, doesn't it? It so feels like that.
Come forward to present day, and Nathan's all grown up, you know, to the extent that Tom Holland looks like a grown-up. Spider-Man. And now he has a job working as Tom Cruise in the movie Cocktail, and he's also a pickpocket. Oh, interesting. Yeah, and so then this guy Sully shows up and claims to know Nathan's brother and wants to bring Nathan on an expedition. What are they what's the expedition? Well, there's this freaking treasure hidden by Ferdinand Magellan and his crew. It's like billions of dollars worth of gold. Oh boy. And so to get to that treasure, they need this old golden cross that's actually a key. Oh, old people love things that look like other things but are actually keys. They sure did, sir. So Nathan and Sully go to this auction, but there are some bad guys there that also want the cross. Oh, how come? Well, there's this one guy, Moncada, and he comes from the family that funded the Magellan trip, so he feels like the treasure is his birthright. Okay. And he has this ruthless mercenary, Braddock, working for him, and her whole thing is that she would also like the treasure. Understandable motivation, sure. So anyway, Nathan and Sully managed to get the cross, and now they gotta go to Barcelona. Oh, how come? Well, Sully has this contact, Chloe Fraser, and she has this other cross, because you need 2 of them to enter this crypt. And what's her deal? Oh, she's a very good pickpocket, sir. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. She's so good, she steals the cross out of Nathan's closed backpack without even getting close to it. What? How? She's so good, sir, he didn't even notice. Physically, how did she get a cross out of a closed bag from a distance? By being one of the best in the game, baby. All right, well, cool, I guess. It's very...
Greg talked about that in his review, like right at the beginning of his review. If you haven't seen it yet, you should check it out. Greg at The Real Rejects. The way Greg imitated the physicality of it all. She didn't even like close the gap between them at any point in that scene, and yet somehow she made off with the cross. It's like, that's just magic at that point. It's sorcery. That's not even just sleight of hand. That's pure sorcery.
Very cool, sir. She double-crossed him for some double crosses. Oh, wordplay. So then they managed to convince her that they all need to work together, but there's still gonna be a lot of backstabbing going on. Oh, stabbing is tight. Backstabbing. Yeah, wherever. I love all of it. Okay, so then what happens? The Da Vinci Code. Oh, yeah, the Da Vinci Code. We're getting all Dan Brown up in here? You know it, sir. They gotta follow these ancient clues that are hidden in plain sight in modern society. Very Robert Langdon-esque. Yeah, so this one entrance to an ancient crypt is inside an old church, and there's a vent connecting it to a nightclub. And nobody in 500 years ever went through the vent. That's what we're going with. And then there's this other keyhole in a Papa John.
That's right. I was thinking about that while watching the movie. I'm like, this is kind of odd that it's just connected to this. And like that thought did occur to me. It's just right there. Like, you know, you have Nathan and Chloe going through all this whole ordeal to get into the same spot that you could have just gotten into through a vent on the other side.
Vent. That's what we're going with. And then there's this other keyhole in a Papa John's. What? In a Papa John's. Like a pizza place? Yeah, Barcelona's in Europe. Europe has pizza. Papa John's has pizza. Papa John's will give me money. This is a perfect fit. Okay, so there's an ancient keyhole in a Papa John's. Amazing. Yeah, they built a Papa John's around an ancient keyhole. Never look behind it. Just put a Papa John's right there. Yeah. They just put some glass in front of it so it was still easy to find, but never did anyone wonder what was behind there. That makes total sense to me. Great. And so then there's going to be this action scene where Nathan and Chloe are almost drowning down in the crypt, and the Papa John keyhole can help them not drown. Okay. So Sully's got to access the keyhole, but that Braddock lady shows up at the Papa John. So there's a big Papa John's fight, and he throws her through the Papa John's glass. A very exciting action scene brought to you by Papa John's. Anyway, so later Braddock and Moncada are loading up this cargo.
Honestly, I felt what he's feeling here. It did feel so much like this plug, this marketing plug of some kind, because they're inside of a Papa John's, which never happens in the game. Like nothing like that ever happens in the game. You're never at a location that is that familiar inside the game. There was a fleeting moment of haha where Mark Wahlberg's like, I'm inside of a Papa John's. That was funny. There's this whole epic fight scene that takes place inside of there, and it just felt a little bit odd that so much time was spent inside of a Papa John's inside this Uncharted film, which is about exploring these tombs and ancient relics and whatnot, like these ancient locations that people haven't visited in hundreds of years. The most creative place you could go was to a Papa John's. It just felt odd. The emphasis he's placing here in repeating Papa John's over and over again, I get it, because I felt the same thing. There were some humorous moments. Some of the redeeming qualities of the film, fortunately or unfortunately, took place in that Papa John's. There were some funny moments in that scene. I would have rather that scene didn't take place there instead of a Papa John's. The whole thing that he mentioned about them building the glass there, you know, in front of the key, just sort of incorporating that into the Papa John's, that didn't bother me so much. It actually felt like that's something that could totally happen. You have this location that they don't want to move because it's a whole thing and, you know, they got to preserve it. So they'll just build around it. I feel like that kind of thing happens all the time in real life. Maybe.
Papa John's. Anyway, so later Braddock and Moncada are loading up this cargo plane, and Nathan and Sully got to figure out how to get on there. Is that going to be hard to do? Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, they hide in the trunk of his favorite car, which he's bringing with him. How'd they get in there? Aren't there a bunch of guards? Oh, yeah, for sure. But they do this really clever thing where they sneak into the car off screen. Oh, that's amazing, the kind of stuff you could get done off screen. It really is. So then there's going to be this big twist on the plane when Braddock slits Moncada's throat. Oh, my God. Yeah, so there's blood everywhere because of what that does to a person.
PG-13?
Well, no, because we want that PG-13 rating. Oh, okay, so then he'll just have a dark, bloodless line that we won't even try to hide. Perfect. So now Braddock is the main antagonist of the movie. Very cool twist. So instead of the villain with a personal family connection to the treasure, it's the angry girl who was thrown through a window at Papa John's. Exactly. And so she tells her crew, hey, now that we have this guy's wealth, we can do whatever we want. That's not, just because you murder someone doesn't mean you control all their assets. Yes, it does. Oh, okay. Okay, neat. So then there's gonna be this big action set piece where Nathan and a bunch of cargo are falling off the plane. Oh yeah, that's from the games. Exactly, an iconic moment from the games, except now people can't control the characters, which makes it more engaging. That makes sense. So anyway, eventually they get out of that situation, and Nathan figures out the coordinates for the treasure. Oh, good for him. Yeah, and then Chloe steals them, but Nathan left decoy coordinates because he knew she was gonna double cross him. So she just takes off in the wrong direction and she's not in the final act action stuff of the movie. That's right, she's gone. All right. And so then Nathan heads into this cave that
yeah, it's a little odd.
For 500 years, even though it looks like the coolest cave that everyone would love to explore. And how does he plan on bringing several tons of gold out of there with him? Well, he's got himself a little speedboat. That'll do it. Yeah, so then on land, Nathan and Sully find Magellan's 2 giant old ships, but then Braddock and her team take them. What do you mean they take them? They put these giant nets under the ships and fly them off with helicopters with Nathan and Sully inside. Nice. So then there's gonna be like this crazy airborne pirate ship battle. It's gonna be nuts. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. And at a certain point, Nathan's gonna fire an old cannon at the other ship because it's flying right at them. What was the strategy there? The bad guys were just gonna crash one ship into the other and hope for the best? Yes. Well, okay then. And so then the good guys win and the bad guys die and most of the treasure is lost. Oh, bummer. Yeah, but it's okay because they get a little bit of it. So what do you think? I think it sounds fun, and I think we time it just a little after the new Spider-Man movie to hop on that Tom Holland hype train. You think that'll work? Never underestimate a hype train.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a box office success. That's a little disheartening. For all the reasons that were stated in this video, that's just a little disheartening to find out that it was this massive success and it's greenlit for more pictures. Now that's the cynical part of me talking because I wasn't happy with the movie. As far as it goes for Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg and the studio execs and all of them, cool. That's awesome. You did it. And now you get more movies out of this. And hopefully it gets better and not weirder like Resident Evil. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. Like, the characters inside the game were so much more cool. Like, you get to know them. I get that it's a game with the long runtime, so you have time to spend with them. But over the course of a film, you should be able to connect with characters and like them so much that you want to spend more time with them. And I didn't feel any of that in watching the Uncharted film. I felt that almost from the get-go in playing Uncharted the game, and we're talking on graphics that were way more limited than they are now, right? Because of Uncharted 1, and then obviously, you know, they were pretty groundbreaking for their time, but we're still dealing with animation versus like people. There's an argument to be made that it's easier to connect with animation than with real people. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that, so I'm gonna stop. All I'm trying to say is, with the game, I connected with the characters way more. They were way more interesting to hang out with, to spend time with, all of them. And in the movie, I didn't have a passion for anybody, not one of them. And there were things he, obviously, as Ryan George does, there were things he pointed out here where I'm like, yep, that happened, and it made it even less fun. I don't want this to be like a cynical recap of my review. So about what Ryan George is saying, I think he made some very strong points. I would have laughed harder if it wasn't just downright true. It's just like, there's that line between, you know, jokes, and then it's just true. It's not as humorous when it's just true. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the reason why it hurts as much as it does, I'm going right back into the negative again. I think the reason why it hurts as much as it does is because there was so much potential and so much hope for something like this. I get where Sony's coming from in their need to make this as bankable as possible. You're putting in this, you're capitalizing on the success of Spider-Man, putting it right after Spider-Man. I get it. From a marketing perspective, I get that, and that makes a lot of sense, and it obviously worked out. It just sucks for the devout fans of the Uncharted series, which is why a film exists at all. That's the part that sucks. These things happen all the time, even in stuff that's not related to films. You know, with the Mac, for instance, I always bring it back to that. What kept Apple alive for years were video editors. And then there was this period of time where Apple just completely abandoned them in favor of gadgets because the iPod was so successful, and then they, you know, made the iPhone and the iPad and all these things that were not really geared towards the professionals. It was just professional in name, but they weren't actually making their products for professionals. They were making their products for people who were, you know, helping Apple to become the billion-dollar company that it is. It made sense for Apple to focus on this group over here, which was gonna take it to new heights, and abandon this one for years. Now Apple's thinking of this group again, the professionals. What I'm trying to say is, with film, this kind of thing happens. You know, you have the gamers that are very, very devout fans, and they are the reason why a film exists at all, but they are the last to be considered when it comes to crafting the story. It would be cool if maybe it got back on track at a certain point. I mean, there's the after credit scene of Uncharted that sort of hints at, you know, stories to come. It maybe hints that it will get sort of back on track. Even if you give Tom Holland another 10 years, I don't know that he will be anything like the Nathan Drake that we spent time with in the games. He is his own thing. And there are people who are arguing, well, you just got to accept that. And it's like, but why? Like, the whole reason this thing exists is because of the games. I don't know. It'll take me time. Either it's going to take me time to get used to Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg as this duo for the on-screen version of Uncharted, or I'm just not going to watch them anymore. I don't know. I had strong reservations ever since Tom Holland was announced. And when I watched the film, I'm like, yeah, this is exactly why I had reservations. And he's not a bad actor. He's just not Nathan Drake. He's a really, really good actor. In fact, I think Tom Holland's great. He's just not Nathan Drake, or at least this iteration, this performance is not Nathan Drake. He just looks, he's got a baby face. He looks too young. As pointed out in the pitch meeting, he's in his 30s. Tom Holland looks like he's in his late teens at most. Anyway, that's where this is at. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of this. Let me know your feelings in the comments below. I'm Jaby Koay. Peace out.